looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers. All right, so, first of all, let me fix this mic feedback. It wouldn't be FRL without a little bit of technical issues, would it? All right, so, if it isn't Saint Devoe, then I don't know. Welcome, everybody, here to the penultimate round of FOXXXES Racing League here at Monaco. And, of course, it's a nighttime qualifying because we love nighttime qualifying. Hope everyone's having a good day. It is, of course, week 13, and what that means is we've got one more week of carnage here left. So, cannot wait to see what's in store here. Monaco, a track that you really can't overtake on. One of the most famous tracks in Formula One history, though. And the track where I got my start with FRL, of course. About 6 months ago, I was looking online, looking for some sort of commentary to do, some sort of esports commentary. I was just a lad with a dream, couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, and I found FOXXXES Racing League through a little bit of a Google search, just looking around, trying to find an F1 league. Messaged David, said, hey, do you all want a commentator? And this was on a Saturday night, and he said, yeah, sure, we got a race Sunday if you want to do it. And, of course, I said yes. So with, like, no preparation, maybe like 4 hours of preparation, commentated the first race. Couldn't pronounce names, had no clue what was going on, but I did it, and I think I did it half fine because they've kept me around here 6 months later. So, pretty happy with where we're at. Watch this here as we watch with BIS 2000 coming through Saint Devoe. First corner, of course, everybody's asking for no heroics into Saint Devoe, but I don't think we know what's going to happen here as he runs through Casino. Qualifying underway, of course. If you're new to FRL, it is one 18-minute qualifying session, then a 50% race. A 19-1 through the first sector, looking really good as he runs down here into the hotel hairpin near Mirabeau here, and not looking bad at all. Of course, Monaco, one of the only tracks where you really get away with calling everything by corner names, because you're not going to call the run to the tunnel turn 9. It's, of course, just the tunnel. Then, of course, we have the Novel chicane, infamous chicane where we've seen lots of crazy things happen, and plenty of spins, of course, last season. Then we come around here through Swimming Pool, and Swimming Pool proving what Swimming Pool does. A beautiful time as they go through, and Bernard already out of the session. Just watch the nerves you have to have going through Swimming Pool, bounce off the sausage curb there in Swimming Pool as you run into Rascasse, and it's just scary. Kubu, the first time in with a 1:11.193. We've, of course, seen Split 1 Syntax putting in Syntax and JJ. JJ with a 108, Syntax, Mr. Monaco, 109. So that's going to be about the pace we look for as we go through. And Buchek puts in a 1:10.9 here in Split 2. Getting things started. Jump on board here with Fishu. No Spaghetti Mafia in qualifying, as Spaghetti is serving a quali ban that he picked up last race. And Fishu barely getting his way around there. Lucky to not eat the wall. Let's watch Kepa as he comes around here. Outlap, getting ready to start a flying lap. We'll jump on board here. Monaco, a tight, twisty, windy track. One you have to be very, very scared of. And I think we're going to see here as we watch Kepa go on board just how scary this track can be for the drivers. I love the run up here through Casino. It's just beautiful. And just purple first sector for Kepa, looking really strong. Spaghetti gonna have to fight his way to the back after the last lap actions that he did last race, picking up a quali ban here. Looking through, though, in terms of the standings, it is still very close. Wasserschwein and Spaghetti tied on points going into this race. So whichever one finishes ahead is going to have a good run going into the final race of the season here. Watch Kepa come through. Just insane speed. He is going to have Fishu in front of him he's going to have to deal with. But it looks like Fishu goes into the pit, stays out of his way. And you can see Kepa not wanting to risk anything as he goes through here. And Kepa comes across P3, a 1:11.1. The drivers know that this is a big track of nothing but risk versus reward. And we talk about it every week, risk versus reward. And I think at this point, the drivers are really trying to play no risk, all reward. But you have to risk it a bit here at Monaco. There's no way you get through Monaco without a bit of risk. Watching here, Pink come around, final corner into the pits, actually. We'll jump on board here with FOXXXES, who is currently on an outlap. FOXXXES, of course, P9 currently in the Drivers' Championship. His teammate right behind him there in P10. And Buchik goes across on a second flying lap at a 1:10.7. FOXXXES coming around here, going up the hill, the run into Massenet. Just beautiful. I love nighttime Monaco. And then here into Portier through the tunnel. FOXXXES, just beautiful. I almost forget to commentate because I just enjoy watching the drivers run this track. Watch just here as FOXXXES very, very close to the barriers. Yellow flag sector 1. Doesn't look like that's a wreck or anything. As we come around here, FOXXXES through the swimming pool, just sending it straight over the sausage curbs. As FOXXXES comes around, final corner, he's looking pretty good here. FOXXXES going to come around and put in a 1:12.9. It jumps him up into P8. Not good enough, though, for pole. Of course, we only have 15 drivers racing this weekend. A few drivers weren't able to make it, and I'm not sure if some drivers weren't just scared of Monaco, to be honest with you. BIS 2000 coming around, run up the hill into Casino. Again, just watch the drivers, how close he gets to that wall. It's amazing to watch. Of course, in real Formula One, Monaco is a track where the drivers run basically a custom suspension, custom car, just to ensure that they are able to effectively drive their cars around here. We don't get that same luxury in F1 video game, but it almost still feels like a different car. So it probably is possible. And BIS 2000, an interesting strategy there in validating that lap. Where to jump with Wasserschwein, who's rolling, starting his outlap here. Wasserschwein tied with Spaghetti Mafia. Spaghetti Mafia has been very dominant, but Wasserschwein has been very, very consistent. So I think that's where we're going to see a lot of risk reward this weekend, because Wasserschwein knows that he has to go through Velix purple through middle sector. As he comes around final corner, you can see the Alfa Romeo there of, I believe that is Gamer, who spun out right there before the pit entry. And Velix is going to come across a 1:11.0, jumps himself up into P2. So really strong time coming in from the Ferrari driver. Of course, last season, Ferrari brought it home. Wet race here in Monaco last season. And Syntex not making a pit stop at all and was able to win on a single set of wet tires with no pit stop. Kubu comes across, brings it in P6. We're to jump here. BIS 2000 coming through into the hairpin. All of the drivers aren't looking half bad. Of course, a couple drivers DNFing, and there's Pink DNFing right as I say. He doesn't look that bad. Coming out of the chicane, it looks like is where Pink DNF'd, and you can see clipping the wall, I believe is what happened to him there with a bit of a spin. So unfortunate for the Red Bull driver. He's currently locked in at P10. We'll see if Fishu's able to improve or if Gamer's able to put a time in. BIS invalidating his lap here in the swimming pool section, so he will have to go for another push lap behind this first one. And he's just going to go straight in the box. Almost spins trying to get into the pit lane. A little bit of frustration coming out there. And Vixie, as soon as we jump on board, losing it there, going into the swimming pool section and very smartly backing out. Kuba comes across with a 1:10.3. Kuba with a great time there. And we're going to watch as these drivers continue to run through. Jumping on board here with Wasserschwein. Wasserschwein coming around Raskas here and going through. You can see just the pure speed these drivers carry there into Saint Devoux, and then as they run up the hill into Massenet and Casino, it's scary the amount of speed these drivers are willing to hold on to. Just beautiful. As Wasserschwein comes around here looking really, really good as he goes down the run into Portier, into the tunnel. Just, I mean, what a lap there from Wasserschwein, putting in a 1:10.7, kicking himself up into P3. 6 minutes to go here in qualifying. He was purple third sector, so well on the way to beating that 1:10.3 that Kepa put in. You can tell Kepa's been practicing as he goes around here. It almost looks like Wasserschwein is going for a second push lap as we go through here. And looking around, Offski is on his out lap. And as Offski is coming through here, even on an outlap, he's looking like he really has some confidence here on the track. You can hear how he's trying to warm up the tires and really keep the engine low as he goes through. Behind him, you have Buchik here on a flying lap coming through the tunnel and coming down the hill into the chicane. And just look at the nerves as he cuts through the chicane, how close he gets to the wall. He's going to run it all the way out as he comes down through here into the swimming pool section, going around, and just look at the guts. Of course, swimming pool is where Charles Leclerc lost his car as he came through last season and unfortunately lost out the ability to race in Monaco, potentially win his home Grand Prix, but no issues there for Buchik as he comes across 1:10.1, so he is on provisional pole. 4.5 minutes left to go here in this split 2 qualifying session. Jump on board here with Velix. Velix coming across here, starting turn 1, going through Saint Devoux. I'm really curious to see where these split 2 drivers decide to try to make passes, because Monaco is not a passing track. But if you're somebody like Spaghetti Mafia who's starting rear of the pack, you're gonna have to try to make something happen. And you're gonna have to try to make a pass. The question is, where do you do it? So Velix coming into the tunnel here. Again, just watch the run they get through here. It's scary and impressive. See, cutting the chicane extremely close there as he goes through. Same thing with the swimming pool section. Just look at how close he's cutting it. I mean, leaving no room for error. As Velix opens DRS here down the main straight and goes across the line. He's on a 1:10.7. Puts himself up into 5th place, looking very, very impressive at the moment. Few drivers out on outlaps. Of course, 3 minutes left to go here in this qualifying session. So drivers getting ready to start all of their final outlaps and get ready to go. And there is Kubu, who spun there up in the hotel casino square section. And he is probably going to be out of this qualifying at this point because no wing on Monaco is not a good time here. We'll jump on board Kepa, starting a flying lap here as he goes through St. Devoux. First corner, looks like he nails that pretty well, very close to the barrier. Haas getting out of his way right there of Kuba. And as they're going across, down and around here, again, just purple first sector for Kepa, improving by 7/100ths of a second. So he is chasing down a 109, it looks like. A high 109, a flat 110. We'll see how he does through the middle sector here as he... Oh, and he clips the wheel because I commentator curse him. Sorry about that, Kepa. Kepa spins around. He's got 2 minutes left to go, so depending on where his tires are at, he may be able to keep another lap together here. We're going to jump on board with BIS 2000, who's coming down through the hairpin into Portier in the tunnel, looking really, really good as he goes through. See a little bit of a lag issue there, but overall looking really strong still, even though the lag is bouncing him around the straightaway like he's a Mick Schumacher in Jeddah. As he comes around, final section here going through Rascasse. Rascasse possibly... I won't say that. I can't say Rascasse is my favorite corner because Monaco is my least favorite track. But I love commentating it. I hate racing it. And as BIS comes across, he throws himself into P7 with a 1:12.3. So really, really good time coming out of BIS 2000 there. Kuba coming around the hairpin and going down into Portier. Again, really strong here. A minute left to go, so if the drivers aren't already on outlaps, they're not going to have time to set anything up. So it looks like Offski, Gamer, and Kubu and Buchik are going to resort to whatever times they've already set. Bishu DNFing out from the session. It looks like he wrecked in the chicane of Novell, the Novell chicane. Don't know why I couldn't think of what that track or what that corner was called for a second. Wasserschwein coming across here, going through the hotel hairpin up in Mirabeau and not doing half bad again. Wasserschwein trying to chase down pole position here. But, oh, spinning coming out of Portier again. So, checkered flag falls. And unfortunately for Wasserschwein, that is all she wrote. Velix coming through into the swimming pool section. It looks like that is going to be all he wrote. Vixie is coming around. Final corner here, Vixie trying to put together something better than a 1:12.7 as Vixie comes around the final corner here. He is going to put in a 1:11.4, jumps himself up into P7. Velix behind is not on a push lap. We'll see here, is Kepa on a push lap? Kepa is on a strong push lap. Purple middle sector as he comes through the swimming pool section. Is he going to pull a Leclerc? He is not. Misses Wasserschwein there, who was on the edge of the swimming pool section, staying out of his way. Kepa coming around, final corner. He is going to floor it here down the main straight, and he's going to put a 1:09.9. Kepa at the very end chasing down his 1:09. So a very, very good qualifying session here coming out of Monaco. We may have a new Mr. Monaco coming out of the way with Kepa there, putting together a 109.9 right at the very end. Buchik really strong all the way through with a 110.1. Kuba and P3 in the Haas with a 110.3. Really, really good times. Very, very close coming through the drivers, of course. Kushor, Bernard, Spaghetti Mafia not putting together times. And then everyone else fairly close. Of course, Monaco is a track that really, really tests the drivers' ability to focus, and it really tests their ability to race. Hang out for just a minute. We'll be right back with the formation lap. So, whenever the drivers were getting ready for the race, there was a rule announced, and I think it's a very obvious rule: no heroics into Saint Deveau. And part of me is trying to decide who's going to follow that and who isn't. I can tell you right now, one person who isn't going to follow that is going to be Spaghetti Mafia. Spaghetti Mafia is not going to care at all. Two-stop strategy here if you go medium, medium, soft, and a one-stop strategy if you go from mediums to hards. Of course, everybody except for Spaghetti Mafia starting on the soft tires. So we're going to see possibly some soft to hard strategies depending on how the drivers can run things through as we watch the drivers run around through Hotel. Coming down, Kepa already into the tunnels, out of the tunnels, and Buchik just now getting out of the tunnels, and Kepa is through the hairpin, so Kepa wasting no time. He wants this 39 lap race out of his way. I think the big drivers to watch out is, of course, Kepa, Buchik, Wasserschwein is going to be the big one. And then Spaghetti Mafia, of course, the championship leader, starting in last place. And he is going to be gunning it to try to catch up, because between him and Wasserschwein, whoever finishes in front is going to have the championship advantage heading into Great Britain Silverstone, the final race here of this 14-race season in FRL for Season 4. And we are going to line up and get ready to go here. 39 laps of action, 39 laps of breathtaking, nerve-wracking driving, 39 laps of some of the most fun racing you're going to see here on this Sunday afternoon. And I only say that because F1 in real life isn't on this weekend. And we're going to be lined up here. Last driver underway. Of course, now AWS is trying to tell us it's a one-stop strategy. We're going to have 5 red lights, and we are going to be underway for the penultimate round here of FRL Season 4. And we're underway here, and you can see Kepa gets Buchik gets away well. Who was that? That was BIS 2000 back in the back, having a little bit of carnage. Saint Deveau, I said no heroics, and somebody decided to pull heroics into Saint Deveau. And as we go through, we're coming up the hill here. You can see BIS 2000 running around here. Fishu and Ofsky having a good battle up the hill. Behind that, Spaghetti Mafia already up 3 places into P12. Fishu getting passed by Ofsky. Spaghetti Mafia, a little bit of bumper cars as they go through, going down into the hotel section. And as they come around here through the hairpin for the first time, things seem to kind of be settling out. But Spaghetti Mafia up into P11 on those medium compound tires, setting his foot down, even getting around his teammate Fishu. So Spaghetti Mafia knows his job and is already chasing it. And as we go through here into the chicane, Spaghetti Mafia being chased down by Bernard. I wonder how many cars are going to have to pit here as damage on turn 1 because it looks like we had a lot of bumper cars. Everybody makes it through the Novell chicane pretty strong there, no big issues. And as we're going through swimming pools, watch out as we hit the sausage curbs. Nothing crazy going through. BIS 2000 coming around looking really strong. And so far it looks like lap 1 we still have 15 cars in play. So, lap 1 in, and Kepa going up into the Casino Square Hotel section. And so far, everybody survives pretty well. I don't know how long that's going to last, though, as Kuba and Buchik battle it out, and Wasserschwein trying to get his nose into the mix as well as they come down into Hotel. And they're going around here looking really good in the hairpin, and Wasserschwein trying to have a deep cut there and not able to go through, but he is still really close as they come around Portier into the tunnel, and a little bit of a runoff there. Section 3 is going to be where it's at, it looks like, today. As we go through here, you can see the drivers all trying to chase each other down as we go through the chicane. Things looking really good so far, and I'll tell you who looks really good right now. Kubu coming around here trying to chase down Velix, only a couple tenths of a second back as we go through into the swimming pools section again for the second of 39 times today. As they come around, oh! A spin there for Kubu as he tried to get around. And you can see a little bit of a bump there from Vixie as Vixie probably misses his braking zone due to that spin from Kubu. And as we're back underway, DRS isn't able. No drivers into the pits yet. Actually, I lied. Pink, Spaghetti, Bernard, and Fishu all having to pit. So Spaghetti already on hard tires after one lap down in P13. Yellow flag in, it looks like Casino, but it looks like that is back underway. That is potentially Kubu who spun there, but we're back underway, no issues. Kubu has spun again, though, so Kubu not having a great race at all, completely out of his front wing, so he is going to have to nurse it all the way back around as we go through, and you can see the drivers as we're going through into swimming pool chicanes. Just gutsy, and look at Wasserschwein there spinning coming out of swimming pool, getting just a little too far on the sausage curb, and now he's going to have to whip his car back around here and get back going. Of course, these cars are like tractor trailers when you're trying to turn them around. They're so long, so any sort of a spin like that can cost you so much time. So Wasserschwein, no front wing now, is going to have to go into the pits, and things starting to open up and unravel for some drivers. Kubu DNFing out of the session already with a spin, it looks like, going into the swimming pool sections. And is that going to be our first safety car of the race? It does not look like it's going to be our first safety car. Just yellow flags out for now. As we come around here, we're watching Vixie battling with BIS 2000 as they come down in out of Casino into the hotel section. Kubu DNFing, but no safety car. Kind of impressive there. Bernard putting in a 113 on his medium tires. So Bernard trying to chase the game down early. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there from BIS 2000. And I thought that would have opened up the door for Vixie to get around, but it looks like Vixie not able to take advantage of the opportunity here, chasing his way into P5. The top four have, of course, opened up really well. Kuba is, of course, within a second of Kepa at the moment, but Vixie right on the heels of BIS, having a better run. But, of course, the track is so narrow that it's so hard to pass unless you're willing to make the risky move. And as they go through here, BIS 2000 into the pits. That's going to open up Vixie to release a little bit of pace here. And as they go through, Bernard trying to chase down Pink back in P10. You can see that's a very, very close battle. BIS 2000 going onto a fresh set of mediums after only 4 laps. And look at the drift coming out of Bernard here as he goes through, looking really, really, really on the edge with that car and those medium tires. BIS 2000, where is he going to come out? BIS 2000 is going to come out behind Spaghetti Mafia and Wasserschwein. No, he is not. BIS 2000 able to stay just in front of them, but Spaghetti is very anxious to get past him here as they go through. See Spaghetti just does not care. Oh, a little bit of a dive up the inside from Spaghetti and a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there. It looks like Spaghetti keeps his front wing, though, but Spaghetti being chased down by Wasserschwein. So at the moment, Spaghetti holding back his rival just a little bit. But, of course, Wasserschwein on the hard tires that are still looking to activate. So it's so close at the moment. As they run through the tunnel here, of course, Wasserschwein is going to be right after Spaghetti Mafia, trying to get past him here. This is the battle for the lead of the championship. Whoever of these two finishes ahead, they will have the lead of the championship going into Silverstone. So this is where all the marbles are to play for at the moment. And as they come through lap 6 of 39, you can see Wasserschwein with very, very strong pace, not letting Spaghetti get away from him at all. And Spaghetti knows it. And look at Wasserschwein right wing to wing as they go through. And I don't know what just happened there. Believe that was a spin from Spaghetti Mafia. Looked really, really weird, but a spin from Spaghetti Mafia lets Wasserschwein up into P10, and now we're having some disconnects. I don't know what just happened there. It looks like a little bit of disconnection just happened. I don't know if that's potentially just lag or what it was, but unfortunate for Spaghetti, who's now down into P12. Jumping on board here with Kuba, who is chasing down Kepa. Just a second separating these two drivers. Running up the hill into Casino. And just, again, I mentioned it all through qualifying, and I keep mentioning it through the race. Just look how close the drivers are getting to the wall and how on edge they have these cars as they go through. Especially the older these soft tires get, the riskier this is going to be. And you can see Kuba trying to have a little bit deeper of a cut around the hairpin going into Portier. He's really, really trying to push to get around here as they run through. It won't be long before we start seeing cars getting lapped as they go down. You can see Kushor not too far off from Kepa here. And while the leaders are going through Swimming Pool, going into Rascast, we're going to jump on board here with Pink, who is trying to hold Bernard behind him as they go into the tunnel. Bernard right behind at the moment. And we're going to see if Bernard gets a little gutsy going into the chicane, and he doesn't, but a great switchback coming through from Bernard. So Bernard's still right on the tail of Pink. This is some expert driving as they go through Swimming Pool. A little bit of a backup here. Bernard knows he can just put pressure on Pink. They go through again, just pressure on pressure, and he's gonna have DRS going down the main straight. Is that gonna be enough for him to get the pass done here on Pink? It is not gonna be. Monaco, not a great overtaking track. You really have to have the run, and Bernard just doesn't seem to have the car control at the moment. He's slipping and sliding, really, really trying to push, and unfortunately for him, that is costing him a little bit more pace, and I think he's going to want it to here. And we're going to jump Kuba and Buchik right on the tail of Kepa as we go through, coming around. Kuba, really, really strong driver, and Kepa with amazing pace, but as these softs are starting to die, you can see Kuba is doing a little bit better job keeping his soft tires together, which is giving him the advantage. And there goes Kepa into the pits. So Kuba will be released into the lead here to try to hold Buchik behind at the moment and try to continue to build a bit of a gap. As we look here, Spaghetti Mafia and Fishu both already being lapped, unfortunately. So for the McLaren driver of Spaghetti, unfortunately, it looks like Monaco is going to be a track he's going to want to forget, and Silverstone is where he's going to have to bring it home. Coming around here through the hairpin, and still Kuba trying to pull away here. The leaders together, and then an 18-second gap back to Vixie. So things really spreading out here in Monaco. We're 9 laps in, and it's already such a wide gap between drivers. Of course, though, top 3 still have not pit, and then neither have 5th, 6th, or 7th. So Still lots of strategy to play into this, lots of time, lots of different things that we're playing for. I would imagine the top three are all going to go for a one-stop strategy here. We're going to jump on board here with Pink, who is still trying to hold back Bernard as they go through. Coming down into the Novell chicane and still holding back the gap here. Bernard, amazing pace though. He's 4/10 quicker than Pink on his fastest lap. So we know Bernard has pace. He just needs to convert and get this pass done and stop slipping and sliding everywhere. I think that is what's really, really hurting him. And Buchik is into the pits, and so is Kuba. Kuba and Buchik both into the pits here. So Kepa being released here into P2. Kuba, though, coming out in front of Kepa. So Kepa is really going to have to make this pass happen and make it count soon. Coming down, Novell chicane. Kepa still trying to keep up with Buchik here. We're going to jump with Bernard, who is now extremely close back on Pink as they go into the Novell chicane. And a little bit of contact, another little bit of contact there. So Bernard trying to bully his way around Pink here, and Pink trying to hold defensive as much as he can. So backing out a little bit now is Pink as Bernard, as Pink is trying to hold on, and Bernard cutting the chicane a little bit again, and now they've got Offski and Vixie directly in front of them as well. Bernard into the pits, and it looks like Vixie into the pits as well. So now it's going to be Offski and Pink that are released together. Going for another lap as they come through, and as we watch them come around, it's amazing just to see how stagnant the field is, but how close the passes are getting. And we can see the mix-up in the field in the middle as two drivers into the pits. Only one driver with penalties so far, and that is Bis 2000. Kind of impressive. Sorry, there's two cars with penalties. Offski, the only driver still out on his soft tires that he started on, coming around lap 11 of 39. And Offski getting passed by Pink there in the final corner there of Rascas. Amazing that there's finally a pass on track. So Pink up into P4 here at the moment. Offski, of course, still on the same soft tires he started on, so losing a little bit of pace. And we're going to jump up here with Kuba as he's going through Casino, through the hairpin here, and trying to hold on there. Kepa in P2, Buchik in P3. And the top three now back with a very, very close gap. But of course, 14 seconds back to P4. And P4 still needs to pit P4 and P5. So the gap's very, very wide right now. And you can see back in the back, Buchik getting really loose there as they come through. But Buchik able to hold on as they come around here. Kepa coming through. Only 4/10 off of Kuba, but losing a bit of time there through the third sector. It's going to be a large battle of who is able to really compete and get the pass done. Coming through here, tight battles all the way through the field here. Wasserschwein getting past Buchik as Buchik dives into the pits and goes onto a fresh set of medium tires. Of course, Wasserschwein on 9-lap-old hards. Lots of mixed up pit strategy, so it's hard to tell who is where at the moment. But the battle right here between Kuba and Kepa is the big one to watch as they go through, as they come into Nouvelle Chicane. Again, a little bit of a lockup from Kuba, but Kepa keeping things very close, very tidy. So Kepa within striking distance easily at the moment as they run through Swimming Pool. I think one of the big things too to mention here is that Buchik is in P3 of the driver standings and is only 21 points behind both Wasserschwein and Spaghetti Mafia. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities to see Buchik potentially have a strong finish if Spaghetti and Wasserschwein didn't, and Buchik still be in contention for the championship as we go into Silverstone. So it is possible that we could have a three-way fight for the championship as we go into Silverstone, which would be amazing here in Split 2. Ink with a DNF. It looks like he has spun coming out of... Where is he on the track? He spun coming out of Casino. Very unfortunate for him. No safety car being deployed, it appears, here in Monaco. And we are still good here. You can see as drivers go past where he DNF'd, things are going to shuffle a little bit more. So 2 DNFs so far here in Monaco. You can see that is Fishu into the pits. McLaren not having a good time, of course. FRL imitating life at the moment, with McLaren having a very, very bad race. And as we're coming around here, lap 15 of 39, nearing the halfway point, and you can see all drivers have pit going through here. Wasserschwein on 11 lap old hards has his way up into P4, but 4 seconds the gap to Velix, and then 23 seconds the gap between these top two. Everybody else has very, very much spread out as we go through here. It's really between Kuba and Kepa at the moment for the lead. And looking at the drivers, they're both P7 and P8. Kuba in P8, Kepa in P7. The point gap between them is only 6 points, so this is still a battle for position in the drivers. And for the drivers, it's really a battle for constructors as well. AlphaTauri P8 in constructors and Haas P5 in constructors. Williams in the lead of the constructors right now. McLaren 18 points behind, but I'm going to anticipate that they're going to be even farther back by the time this race is over as we watch. Kuba here just continuing strong, consistent laps over and over again. Lap 16 now. And really just holding on to what is a solid pace as he goes through. He's not trying to put any uncalculated, unnecessary risk through, because Kuba knows he's in a good position right now to win. Very, very consistent, trying to chase down what I would imagine he wants the name of Mr. Monaco. And at this point, it looks like he's going to get it between him and Kepa as they go through. Pit strategy is really going to be what comes to play as we dwindle down past the halfway point here and into final stages. It's going to be a matter of who decides to pit where and how. Jumping back here, Gamer and Bernard inverting positions. I'm not sure what happened there, but it happened as they were going up into the hotel section and through Casino. So I would say that was probably just an unforced error as they go through. And we're going to jump on board now with Buchik, who is a half second back on Wasserschwein, 0.3 of a second now. So with the help of DRS, he's able to close that gap up significantly, but still not close enough for a pass yet. But he's going to be thinking about it as we go through, only a couple tenths off as we come down. Shore and Gamer both into the pits here. We'll see what tires they put on. And you can see Buchik with a great run out of the corner here. Wasserschwein having to harvest energy. And Buchik is going to really think about a pass into the Novell chicane. He's on the outside here. Really thought about it. Decided not to. And Wasserschwein with a little bit worse of a run here. Did it cause any damage on Buchik? It did not, luckily for Buchik as he goes through. But it did cost him a bit of a gap. Blue flags starting to fly around now for these drivers as they get near the rear of the field. I believe that is going to be either Fishu or Spaghetti. It's hard to tell which at the moment. And it looks like Fishu into the pits again. Fishu is pitting almost every lap, and I don't know if that's a glitch or what's going on. But again, McLaren having a horrible race at the moment. Come through here, 7 tenths the gap between Buchik and Wasserschwein. Wasserschwein really needs to catch up here to Buchik. We'll jump back up here to the front of the field where the gap is now 3 tenths of a second as they come through Rascasse into the main straight. And we'll see here if, with the help of DRS, Kepa is able to make a pass on Kuba. These drivers have been holding position for a while now. Evenly matched tires and an evenly matched pit strategy. So it really is going to be the matter of who is going to respond to who for another pit stop. The mediums won't make it to the end, so they're going to have to do another pit stop somewhere, I believe. As they come through the hairpin into Portier and then through the tunnel, you can see the gap still fairly consistent as they come around. 7 tenths of a second the gap, holding on at the moment. And you can see in front of them, I believe that is going to be Bernard, who is battling with Biss. Bernard DNFing out there in the swimming pool sessions. You can see the smoke from his car as Kepa and Kuba go past. So Bernard, the third driver to DNF from Monaco here in split 2 as they come around at the moment. Kepa still trying to chase down Kuba, and it's still a matter of who's going to pit first. 19 laps to go here in Monaco. You can see at the moment, Fishu 2 laps down. Kushort and Gamer are both 1 lap down. Bis 2000 and Spaghetti are pushing, getting lapped at this point, just barely ahead of the rest of the field. Vixie backing out of the session, possibly a connection issue there. As they go through, you can see Kushort, who was just lapped by Kuba and Kepa. And it's just, in this case, it's a matter of who blinks and who makes a mistake. This is, of course, a fairly long race. So it's a matter for these drivers of just stamina as they go through. It really is hard to tell who is going to have the advantage by the end of this, because one little slip up and you can fall from first place all the way back, depending on what happens. And the leaders have, of course, built up a massive gap to the rest of the field. So, for the leaders, it's just a matter of continuing to go. The pace that Kuba and Kepa are showing is just, it's otherworldly at the moment. I haven't seen anything like it since Monaco last season, honestly. And even then, Monaco last season was very, very close and very, very scary. You see Kepa really, really trying to get the pass done there. trying to get as close on the chicane as he can, running really wide into the tunnel section as they go through down into the Novell chicane. Again, still just holding the gap here and waiting to see what happens. Two-tenths the gap now as they come through swimming pools, but it seems like Kuba really has the Sector 3 pace, and that is why Kuba is holding on at the moment. But Kuba with a little bit of a lockup right as I say that, so potentially this could be the moment that Kepa is able to get the pass done as they go down. DRS is open. Is he going to have a run into turn 1? 3/10 a second the gap, 2.5 into St. Devoux. No pass, but he's going to be right on the rear bumper here of Kuba as they go up the hill. Kuba defending very hard, and Kepa is going to try to stick his wheel in the inside. Kuba's going to shut the door. Kepa's going to back out of it, and for another lap, these two drivers are going to have to hold position. I'm sure if you're Caper right now, you're getting very frustrated seeing that Haas in front of you, trying as hard as he can to get the pass out of the way. Of course, Kuba winning last race in Hungary here in Split 2, and Kepa finishing P8 last race. So Kepa really wants the win, and Kuba wants a back-to-back top step of the podium. Just trying to chase things down as hard as they can as they go around here. Lap 22 of 39. 17 laps to go in Monaco, and it's really anyone's guess who is going to win here. It's not really anyone's guess. It's going to be between Kuba and Kepa unless one of them have a massive mistake. We saw things almost go horrible back in Season 3 at Monaco for Ferrari. Of course, Syntex, though, pulling it out, and JJ keeping it together to help Syntex. So it was very scary times then, and that was near the end of the race. So very scary times could come again here if Kuba isn't consistent and if Kepa continues to put pressure on. Looking off the rear wing here of Kuba, you can see just how close Kepa really is, but we're going to see just how much that gap opens as they come through tunnels and down into the third sector. This is really where Kuba's getting the run here on Kepa and is able to really open up his pace and get away and ensure that Kepa stays behind him another time as long as Kuba doesn't make an error. And another little bit of a lockup there from Kuba going into Raskas. And as they come around, Kepa half a second back, a little bit closer than he has been, but still losing pace off of the final corner exit compared to Kuba. Coming through the hairpin down into Portier, it's still a very close battle, and as I've said several times now, looking for that one little opportunity and that one little slip up is all these drivers are waiting for. The consistency is going to be key as we go through here. Gap is 4/10 as they come through swimming pool. Very close. We'll see if Kepa is able to hold on a little bit closer this time. Blue flags are out for the driver in front, and I believe that is going to be BIS 2000 that is right in front of them, who's getting blue flags. So we'll see how that affects this battle, if it affects this battle. Coming back up here, we're going to jump on board Buchik, 0.3 of a second the gap here on Wasserschwein. He's really fighting, trying to get this pass done. Wasserschwein harvesting his ERS as they go into St. Devoux. No heroics from Buchik here. A little bit of a slide there from Wasserschwein. So Buchik trying to have a chase up the hill here, and it looks like Kepa might have his moment here through the tunnel section. They're side by side going down into the Novell chicane. They're going to go through a little bit of a squeeze coming out of Kepa there. Really clean though, and Kepa and Kuba still side by side though. Kuba a little bit loose. Kuba's going to see the position, so Kepa with a risky move down to the Novell chicane coming out of tunnel, able to make the pass, and Kepa back into the lead. We'll see if he can stretch out a gap on Kuba or if this battle is going to continue. What a clean pass that just came away from Kepa and Kuba through tunnels, through Novell. I need an instant replay of that. I need an instant replay button here in the commentary booth. That was amazing to watch here. As we watch them run down into the hotel section, Kuba half a second back, so I don't think Kuba's going to be done here with Kepa. You can see the lap car here of BIS 2000 as they navigate through and get around him as well. Lap 26 of 39, and I don't think this battle's over. A little opportunity is all it's going to take, and Kuba is absolutely going to seek his revenge as they go down into Novell chicane again for the 26th time. As they come through Raskas here, Kuba trying to get a pass out of the way here. Kuba 7/10 back, so a couple more laps of pushing unless Kepa is really opening up that much pace in order to hold on. We're going to jump with Buchik here, who is having a run out of, he was side by side with Wasserschwein for just a split second going into swimming pool out of Novell and just was not able to stick to a pass there. And now they're coming out of Raskas onto the main straight here. Buchik half a second back, but Wasserschwein has DRS as well off of the lap cars in front of him. Or off of the lap car in front of him and off of Velix as well. So Wasserschwein able to hold on and defend. You can see Wasserschwein using a bit more of the track here. Buchik very close at the moment in order to attempt for a pass here. Buchik is really wanting to get this pass done for P4 because Buchik still wants to be in the battle for the Drivers' Championship. That has to be running through the back of their minds. The point gaps, again, extremely close. Little bit of a lag issue coming through the game as well. You can see with the Ferraris, really scary to watch as they go through. Fishy on a fresh set of softs, Gamer into the pits, and BIS 2000 in the pits. BIS 2000 onto a fresh set of mediums, and Gamer, who is only on 1 lap old hards, is into the pits. I would guess that is either serving a penalty or some sort of issue there as they come through. And this, surprisingly, at Monaco, we're starting to get a bit of a DRS train here, and that is BIS 2000 coming out of the pits with Wasserschwein, Velix, and Buchik all getting out of the way. And I was expecting Kepa to really run away from Kuba, but he hasn't been able to yet. Kuba's still holding that gap down at 0.8 of a second. So still very close for those drivers as they are looking to see who will blink first, who will make another pit stop, who will make the mistake first. Luckily, these drivers don't have to worry about machined wheel nuts on their cars. And if you're, well, the only Mercedes driver we had is DNF, so if you're any of the other teams, you are very thankful you don't have to worry about that, because that would be a problem here in FRL. If that did happen. We're going to jump on board here with Buchik, who is only a couple of tenths off of Wasserschwein as they run through the final corner. Is Buchik finally going to be close enough for a pass here as DRS gets open here for Wasserschwein and Buchik is going to have this peek around the outside into St. Devoux. Not close enough. He's going to do a little bit of a switch here, almost bumping into the rear end of Wasserschwein, not bumping him though, and as they run up the hill into Casino, it is very close. Buchik really has the pace here on Wasserschwein, trying to make the pass done. Wasserschwein on 25 lap old hard tires. And Wasserschwein really feeling the pain at the moment. Buchik's tires, of course, have to be wearing off as well, though. So it's a matter of time, depending on who passes who, how this is going to play out. Another pit stop probably in order for some of these drivers. 10 laps to go as we come through tunnel here on board with Buchik and watching him run through. It's so close at the moment, and I can't tell who is going to go where. And as they run down into the Novelle chicane for what is the 30th time, it is all still to play for. And to give you an idea of the gap here, as Buchik, Wasserschwein, and Velix are running through here into the main straight, if we jump back on board with Kepa, they are going here into tunnel section out of Portier. So nearly half the track, the gap here. Watch out though, because Buchik is having a run up the hill here on Wasserschwein. Very close, less than a tenth of a second the gap for a moment. So Buchik really almost getting that pass done. So close it is. Buchik can feel it because Wasserschwein is out of DRS range here from Velix. So when the drivers come back through again, they should be very close. And it is possible that this time will be the time for Buchik. Kuba, though, 1.1 seconds the gap now. He is falling back off of Kepa just a little bit. I wonder if that's because of tire wear or if Kuba is trying to do a little bit of conservation as they come through and really trying to hold on to his tires. Drivers coming through one more time here through tunnel. Kuba is trying to chase down Kepa. And Kuba without a front wing. I look away for 0.2 seconds and something happens. So Kuba, no front wing. I keep saying it's about consistency and who is going to have a mistake. And unfortunately for Kuba, it looks like this is his mistake. How much is this going to cost him? The gap's already 5 seconds back, and now he's going to have to go into the pits. So we're going to watch and see just how slow this pit stop is, because this is going to be painful for Kuba. A little bit of a mistake, and that cost him so much time. The Haas pit crew are ready to receive him as he goes in here, pitting in onto a set of softs with only 7 laps to go, fitting that fresh front wing, and now he's going to be released out of the pits, losing out so much time just releasing Kepa. Kepa now has nothing to worry about. So for Kepa, he's got 30 seconds almost back to Kuba. So Kepa basically with a free pit stop here whenever he wants it. Buchik and Wasserschwein still continuing to battle it out. These two are just not going to stop until the end of the race. And then let's jump back here. You got Wasserschwein and Buchik battling, and then you have Spaghetti Mafia and Vixie battling. Spaghetti on fresh softs, Vixie on a brand new set of mediums trying to chase him down. A little bit sketchy coming into swimming pools there. It looks like he may have had a little bit of contact with the wall, but I see no front wing damage, so lucky as he comes through here into Rascas. Wasserschwein retiring out of the session. Wasserschwein, it looks like DNFing as they come through here into tunnel out of Portier. We'll see if we can see what happened. And he did. He DNF'd coming into the tunnel. Unfortunate for Wasserschwein. All Spaghetti Mafia has to do at this point is finish, and he's going to open up some sort of a point gap and have the advantage going into Silverstone. How unfortunate for the Aston Martin driver. As we come through here, Buchik is still trying to chase down Velix as we go here. Very, very close. Oh, and what is happening now? Everything's opening up, and that is Kepa who has spun out there, and Kuba is now past him. Kepa can't get back going. Kepa now back going here, but back into P4 behind Buchik and Velix. As they come through here, Portier into the tunnel section. Buchik, half a second the gap back on Velix. Is he going to be able to get the run done here? Lap 33 of 39 going into the Novo chicane. He is not as they run through. But Buchik very, very close here and absolutely going to try and put some effort in as 5 laps left to go. He wants to get this pass done. As they run through here into Rascasse, and they come around the gap, only a couple tenths, but a little bit better of a run out of the final corner Velix has. And as Velix comes down and around here, Buchik trying to have the pass. He doesn't have the pass into Saint Devoux. Is he going to have it up the hill into Massenet and Casino? He does not, and you can see Velix conserving here. Kepa into the pits onto a fresh set of softs, so Kepa losing out on the chance for the victory here and releasing Kuba to just run away and relax at the moment. Buchik and Velix on medium tires trying to fight each other and chase each other down here. Vixie and Spaghetti Mafia is going to be a tight battle to watch as well as they try to go through, and Fishu now DNFing out of the session. Looks like Fisher DNFing in the swimming pool section. Another problem there for McLaren. Not a great race for either of those drivers. But Spaghetti, all he has to do is finish, and he is going to have the points up on Wasserschwein. Kuba puts in a 1:12.0, so Kuba being released with pace here. And Buchik was thinking about the pass on Velix there as they came through, and Velix spinning. Buchik checking up really hard, barely holding onto that. And for Velix, that is going to cost him all the way into P4 as Ofsky gets right by him there. And does Velix have damage? It does not. He does. So Velix into the pits there, and Velix losing out big time as they go through. We're going to jump on board here with Vixie. Vixie trying to chase down Spaghetti Mafia. Spaghetti Mafia really trying to release things up. Spaghetti Mafia smells a top 5 finish in his wake if Kepa makes another mistake, which Velix is into the pits. So if Spaghetti Mafia can really floor it here, he could be in a good spot. Which, if I could read gaps, I could tell you that Spaghetti Mafia has way too far of a gap to make up on Velix. So, no chance of a top 5 finish for Spaghetti, depending on where they come out of the pits here as they come through. Spaghetti could actually potentially... No, I'm absolutely wrong. Velix still has a 6-second gap. I can't read gap signs. Your commentator is going crazy here. With just a few laps to go as they come through, things have really spread out. Started with 15 cars, down to 10 cars, and nobody is close to each other at the moment. Kuba running up the hill into Casino. 3 laps to go here. And all Kuba has to do is relax and drive. 27 seconds the gap back to Buchik. And Buchik now into the pits, getting off of his tires, changing his front wing onto a set of softs. So Buchik going to run on soft tires. We'll see where he comes out here as he comes down the pit lane. Gap very, very low here. Is Kepa going to get past him? Kepa's still 6 seconds back. It always looks closer than it is. Kepa into the pits now as well. Coming off and going in and out of the pits very quick onto a fresh set of softs. 35 seconds the gap that Kuba has on FOXXXES at the moment. So a great race coming out of Kuba and Kepa. Unfortunately, a little bit of bad luck coming between those drivers. And for Kuba, he came out on the luckier end here as he runs around. And this is going to be BIS 2000 that he'll be lapping in front of him. BIS 2000 will be going his second lap down as they come around lap 37 of 39. Going down into the casino section through the hotel hairpin. You know, for a track that we say you can't pass on, we've seen some really, really great passes coming out of this track, and it gives me some major excitement here to see where Split 1 will go, depending on how penalties and things lie out. Right now, Spaghetti Mafia is going to have the lead of the Drivers' Championship as we run into the final race of the season. We're going on to the penultimate lap here with Kuba as we watch and as the drivers run through. And looking at race pace here, a 1:12, the fastest lap here out of Kuba. So a significant pace advantage, it looks like. Half a second up on Spaghetti Mafia, and Kuba really dominating as we go through here. Details: FOXXXES, Buchik, Spaghetti, Vixie, Kepa, Kushor, BIS, and Gamer all have penalties. BIS 2000 with 18 seconds of penalties here. And then, of course, looking at positions gained, Kuba started P3. He's now up into P1. Spaghetti making up 10 positions, getting himself into the top 5 here. 8 pit stops coming out of Gamer 2021, but 9 pit stops from Fishu. I think that's the most pit stops I've ever seen in an FRL race. We'll give him the Pit Stop King award as we come through here. Lap 38 of 39, running through the tunnel for Kuba. And Kuba just relaxing. Great battle between him and Kepa as they go all the way around. And just one lap left to go here. We can see in front of him, though, Kepa, who is almost a lap down, trying to have a run here on Vixie. A very, very close battle between these two as they come around. And it's not over yet, as they still have another lap of action they can do. DRS Open here. Is Kepa going to be close enough for a pass? He is not. He's half a second back, and the leader is now starting the final lap behind them. So they've got 2 more laps of action in order to make a pass here. You see Kepa with a great run up the hill on Vixie. A pass down the inside here into Casino on Vixie. Vixie, no front wing. And Kepa has the pass done here, going into Hotel. So for Kepa, not all is lost up into P6, but not close enough to be back on the top step of the podium where he was for so much of the race as we go through. Kuba coming down into the tunnel section for the final time. And as he runs around going into the Novelle chicane, Kuba, strong race pace, strong qualifying pace, going all the way through. And as he comes through the Novelle chicane for the final time, everybody is going to be excited to watch this. One more run through swimming pool here, and for Kuba, it's P8. And Kuba, who finished top step of the podium last week, as he comes around Rascass for the final time, he is going to be finishing top step of the podium again this week. For Kuba, it's back-to-back wins here in FRL, and that is going to be his second victory here in FRL. Back-to-back, he brings it, and behind him, that is going to be Vixie, who DNFs coming into St. Devoux. But battle not over here. Buchik and FOXXXES still having a very, very close run. Buchik getting past FOXXXES coming out of the Novelle chicane into swimming pool. So for Buchik, that is going to be a P2 in place for him as they come around final corners. Buchik with that late swimming pool chicane pass. He's going to come around and get P2. FOXXXES going to be very upset. FOXXXES coming around down the straightaway for the final time here. Low and slow P3. Velix comes across P4, but with penalties applied, he's up into P3. Spaghetti Mafia, a heartbreaking race. qualifying ban having to be served, but able to recover some major points here from P15 up into P5 with Caper right behind him though. So Spaghetti Mafia is going to bring it home P6 after penalties. Caper up into P5. Vixie currently sitting at P7 still as Kushor comes around. And that is going to be your race in 6 DNFs. And that is our Monaco Grand Prix taken care of here for Split 2. Driver of the day, Spaghetti Mafia, of course, up from P15 to P6. So holding on to some serious points with Wasserschwein having a full DNF, and any points that Spaghetti Mafia could get is going to help. Spaghetti Mafia, of course, still hasn't secured the Drivers' Championship as Buchik is going to be up in the mix as well. It's still a three-way fight for the top of the Drivers' Championship here in FRL Split 2. Split 1, we can't say the same, but Split 2 giving us some serious action and a nail-biting finale coming up next week here in what's going to be Great Britain. Congratulations, Kuba, on another victory back-to-back here in FRL. Back-to-back wins for Kuba. Hungary, great race there. And now another great race for him here in Monaco, trying to secure the name of Mr. Monaco. Buchik doing what he needs to do to keep himself in the battle for the Drivers' Championship. Velix Ofsky, Kepa with a great run as well. Spaghetti Mafia keeping himself in the contention for the championship. Vixie, Kushor, Biz 2000, Gamer, Wasserschwein, Fishu, Bernard, Pink, and the last driver on our list is going to be Kubu. Unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. Everybody hang out for just a little while. Split 1 race coming at you in about 15 minutes.